All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Wrong, and today we got the Motorola Razr Fold. I've had it for a couple of days now, but I'm not going to do a full review. We're going to talk about the unboxing, how not thrilling that is, and we're going to talk about the device. And Razr kind of did their thing with it, but we're going to get into it, all right? All right, so first things first, I will say that I like the presentation. The box is nice, black box, purple lettering. I like the color contrast there, very nice. But let's go ahead and open it up and you'll see the device there. And like I said before, I have had this device for a couple of days, but I just like to go through the unboxing with you guys and kind of share what that experience would be like if you were to order this device. So there's a phone. We'll get into that in just a moment. In the top portion of the box, we have the accessories or or lack thereof. You can see in there that there's just a charging cable and the pamphlets that come with the box. I mean, with the device itself. So you can see the pamphlets are there. I'm not even going to take them out. Not even worth the time. And the charging cable is deep in there. There we go. Charging cable, USB-C to USB-C. And that's it. I gotta say, it's been a while since I've had a boring unboxing with nothing in there. I'm used to getting charging bricks. I'm used to getting a case. No matter how cheap the case may be that they include with the phone itself, you still get a case. With this device, you barely get anything. You get a charging case. And did I mention that this device is, with taxes and everything, I paid around $2,100 for this? That automatically made me feel some kind of way about the device, just the price alone. But I try to get past that, but there's and I know us as, reviewers of these devices, we try to talk about pricing and okay, yeah, let's talk about the rest of the device, but the price itself is a major stopping point for a lot of people, and that needs to be addressed. So I feel like immediately when I was paying for this device, I felt like this is too much for this phone. And let's get into it. The price is too much for it, but we're going to keep moving and we're going to talk about the device because that won't stop some people. So let's get into the rest of the device itself. So what I like to do is I like to slide my phone out of the sleeve itself, just because I like to keep everything as intact as I possibly can, because I like to sell my devices. And at some point, I'm going to get big enough, hopefully, to where I can start giving away a device here and there to people. But I just haven't gotten there yet. I really have to sell these devices to help with me constantly buying them to help me be able to afford future devices. So that's where I am at right now. So out of the box, let's talk about the design real quick. The device, as you may have seen, is powered on. I've already set it up. I've had it for a little bit, but I am a fan of the brushed metal, the camera module, around the camera modules themselves. That's really nice. And I love the texture on the back of this device. It gives it a different feel that I'm not used to on a phone, period, let alone a folding phone. So that is really nice. I feel like this looks like a premium device. So, hey, that's really nice. But the screens are really nice. They do have like rounded edges on them, which I tend to stray away from, and when it comes to my devices, simply because screen protectors are easier to find for me for flat panels. But yeah. But anyway, let's get into the screen itself. Just a bright, beautiful screen. I'm gonna pop specs up maybe over there to the right for you guys to see that. But long story short, high resolution, beautiful screen. It gets really bright. I've had it out in the sun, and you have no issues seeing the screen in the sunlight. Look around the right side of that screen. You have your power button, volume rocker, AI assistant button here. I'm kind of torn on how I feel about that. So you see Moto AI, they have their own AI. I haven't interacted with it much, but I do plan on interacting with it. Just still trying to get a feel for the device itself because it is different for me. Even though I've used quite a few foldables, it is different. But yeah, what I was saying was I'm not really a fan of the AI button being directly across from the volume rocker buttons. It's kind of weird to me. I'm still getting used to it. Plus, the buttons are kind of high on the device itself. As a person with, like, I have small hands, so if I want to do anything, I have to kind of scoop my hand up to get to those buttons. Which, I mean, it's not a deal breaker. I would get used to it if I just, continue to use this device. So I'm not complaining, just pointing out that they are kind of high for me. But they did elongate the power button, so it makes it slightly easier to reach. You could kind of tap the bottom of it instead of having to hit the middle of the button. So that's nice. The buttons do have a nice feel to them and a nice clickiness to them. So everything feels really nice and premium. You got your speakers up top. Now, I don't know if that's IR blaster or not, or just mics, but those are there. Hinge left. And on the bottom, you have another speaker. My first gripe is, and this is going to be minor, but when you open this device and you're holding it, unless you decided you want to hold it on the side where the camera module is, I mean, you absolutely could. You're going to be covering both speakers with your hands, and you have to be aware of that. They put both speakers on the same side of the device, so that's a thing. I wish that they wouldn't. I wish they put one on each side of the device, but I can get that you always have the option to just hold it by the camera module itself. But that is going to cause your camera module to be covered in fingerprints if you decide you want to pull it out and take a picture with it. But hey, not a big deal. But yeah, that's that. You have your SIM tray there, and you have mics, and you have your USB-C charging port. You do have fast charging on here. And I would say that while I do tend to praise the Chinese brands that I use for including chargers in the box and cables and things like that, they almost have to include those things because a lot of the really, really fast charging perks that they get with their devices is really exclusive to their chargers, in my experience. But with this device, I've used it with a couple of different chargers in the house, and it does have fast charging on there. I don't know what the wattage is per se, but it does charge really fast. So you don't need a proprietary Motorola charger with the phone in order to get the fast charging perks out of it. So that is a benefit, but I still wish they would have included a charging brick because the average person won't have a fast charging brick. So after spending all this money on this device, you still need to go buy a charger for it and a case. And so on and so forth. It's yeah. As you can tell, I still feel some kind of way about the price of this device. But what I will say, while looking at this front display screen, the screen is really nice itself. But I have to say that Motorola put some kind of thick bezels on here. I'm going to show this in comparison to a well-established foldable maker right now, Oppo. They made a few foldables by now, so they refined their device quite a bit. Motorola, this screen is nice, don't get me wrong, but those bezels are kind of thick in comparison. And I'm only, like I said, once again, some of the stuff I'm going to point out because I just use a lot of devices, so it won't bother the average person. I would absolutely get used to this. There's no problem there. I mean, it doesn't make it feel cheaper by any means or anything like that, but it is noticeable to me that the bezels are thicker than the average foldable that I'm used to dealing with recently. So that's that. But otherwise, the software is really nice. And let's go ahead and go into settings. As you can see, I'm stumbling around because I use so many different devices. But let's go into settings, and I want to go to about the phone. There we are. So you see Motorola Razr Fold 2026. Hello, Moto. And you can see I got the 16 gig and camera on the front, 32 megapixels plus 20 megapixels. And on the back, you have a triple 50 megapixel setup. Internal display is 2484 by 2232. And the front screen is 2520 by 1080. And sound by Bose, I'm still testing these speakers out because I really am trying to get a feel for them. I saw Bose on there and I got really excited, but then I listened to the speakers and I wasn't really blown away. But like I said, I still want to listen to them some more and get a feel for that. But yeah, here we are. Like I said, and it doesn't say. I was looking for the Snapdragon version, but it's a Snapdragon 8 Gen 5. I didn't see Elite on there, which is interesting. But it's more than capable. The software flows really well for me so far. I haven't had anything that misbehaved on me so far. I get notifications on all of my apps. That's the beauty of like having a device that's global. Everything works natively on here. The all of my Google Wallet stuff, Google Pay, whatever Google is calling it right now, all of that works so far on here really nicely. Navigation. I haven't paired my Pixel Watch with it yet, but it'll work. I'm not really concerned about that. But otherwise, the software is really nice. Let's go ahead and look at the inner display. I've talked on the front display a lot. The inner display is brilliant and it's bright. It's really nice. Let me tilt it so people can see the crease. I don't care as much about it, but I have to remember to show it because people do care about it. I will say that you will feel it more than what I've become accustomed to in other devices, but it's not a deal breaker. Once again, you won't notice the crease as much when you're consuming media on here. Not at all, actually. When you're looking at this thing head on, or not with bright lights shining directly at the crease in a tilted fashion, you won't notice that at all. And you can see like it's really snappy. So everything is really nice. I have not tried. Let's try it a little bit. So, I hate when I like stuff by mistake. But yeah, here's one app. Let's go ahead and go into split screen. And let's bring up Discord. All right. And it's still, you can see that it's still giving me tilts because I haven't tried everything out on here yet. But you could drag it and let's drag it back out. Let's see what happens. Oh, let me acknowledge that. Now, nope, it's trying to take me back. Why is it doing that? There we go. And then you drag it back out. Okay, so what if I drag it a little bit? No, so I thought that it was going to let me do like the 3/4 of the way on one app, but it doesn't. You can actually see that the divider disappears. Oh, so that's a nice indicator that you've gone too far. So what about right there? Nope, it goes back into the split screen. So these are things. That's why we test it out. So you guys see that. So the only thing that pops up in this menu is full screen. So can I not do a third app? Oh, hold on. Okay, so I can add Chrome in there. Okay, so I can do a third app. Nice, very nice. What if I want to do, so you can do free form. Let's see what that looks like. And you get your window and you can move it around. So they've got some software capabilities here, actually. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about software. I have mixed feelings about the software itself. Let's go ahead and close that. I know drag the handle around. I can adjust the size of the window. Yep. Oh, all the good stuff. Okay, so that's good that they have that there. The software gives me Pixel vibes, and I'm still not sure how I feel about that because I love Pixel, but I like it on Pixel devices. I was kind of expecting Motorola to put their own spin on it more because I mean, you do have the floating windows, and I'm not sure if Pixel has added that to their software yet, but it still has this Motorola touch to it. Like you see the menus in here still look, like I said, I'm going to say this a few times, but I want to spend more time with this device because I'm still getting used to navigating through the menus and things like that. So it does have its Motorola touch to it, but it gives me Pixel vibes. And I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. But let's see, you have your personalize here. Here's what confuses me. When I go to personalize on the device or customize the device, whatever the OEM may call that section, where you're allowed to make the device your own. I see the icon shape here. Cool. You see your colors here, which really impacts icons, so on and so forth. That's cool. You even have a menu here where you can pull colors from wallpapers, and it does its own thing. I feel like it does its own thing with that It doesn't really grab the color that you want it to grab because it grabs the like softer version of that color, and I wish it didn't. But that's not all of the icon stuff there. It was under, I think it's on the home screen. You could do your home settings, and then you could turn your theme icons on and off. I I get why they would have done that or whatever, but I feel like they all need to be in the icon section in one or the other. If it's gonna be here under home settings, fine. If it's gonna be under personalized, fine. But just pick one. I feel like they're in two different places, and it's kind of weird to me. And that's really it. But the bright side of that is in under control center. The weirdest thing I realized happened to me today, well, not today, but when I first got this phone, the control center was in the classic style. And you can see that there. You see how that looks? Well, it's folded now, but let me show you how it looks when it's closed. So you see how, and then you could drag down to get the control center and settings and blah, blah, blah. I am not used to that anymore. And that really dawned on me today, the other day when I was using the device. I instantly went in here and started, I was like, please let me change this. So I'm used to it being separate now where I can swipe down, then do that. I like that more. I've just really become accustomed to that, and I prefer it now. It's weird. It's really weird. But yeah, I'm still navigating through here and just see how I feel about the device. But I really want to share that I like it. It's too expensive. The cameras are decent, but they're not strong. Let me see. I have taken a few pictures with it, and I'll show these to you guys as I'm talking through them. But the colors are nice. I feel like, and maybe I've gotten used. I think what it is I've probably just gotten used to other devices over sharpening things. Maybe that's what it is. But I feel like a lot of the edges on things have this softness to them, and I just can't get used to it. The ultra wide is fine. Everything looks nice. Where's my ultra wide photo that I took? I think it's this one. 12 millimeter. Yep. That's my ultra wide photo. Now, it's not the sharpest by any means, but it'll do. It'll do. It's not bad, but it's not great by any means. For a foldable, I feel like it kind of falls in middle ground. Not great, but not bad, because I've seen some bad ultra wides. But yeah, the photos. Let me see. Let me see if I can find one where I took up close on an object. Let me see. Yeah, I guess it would be the little pastries here, the little cakes. It's like they have this fuzziness to them, and I just can't get past it. I made sure my cameras were wiped off and things like that, but I'm trying to get past it, and I just cannot. But like I said, I'm gonna keep testing them out to see how I feel. Like this one came out really nice. Like it looks good, but it has this softness to it to me, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but we'll keep playing with it. But yeah, I just wanted to come in and kind of give you guys my initial thoughts on the device. I like it. I'm not necessarily in love with it, especially for the price. I'm going to keep bringing it up because price is a big deal. This phone is expensive. I can't really say anything else about that. It's expensive. I can't deny it. It's nice. And I feel like it's Motorola's really solid step into the regular foldable arena. They have their little clamshell, the regular Motorola Razr. I think they're calling it the Plus, or maybe the Plus is one of the variants of that clamshell device. But I feel like this is a solid step in. They have a solid contender. The price, they need to bring that down. There's no way around that. They need to bring that price down. It's really nice. It feels really refined. You have the brush metal on there. You have nice touches all around this device. Really well designed. Not $2,100 worth though. It's expensive, especially to come with no charging brick, no case, anything else you buy. You have to buy additional to this device. Things become even more expensive really, really fast. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I'm gonna keep spending time with it and testing things out and seeing if I can become more used to it and then give my full review on it. Then we'll see where we at. All right. But anyway, really appreciate you guys tuning into the channel. Feel free to like and subscribe. It all goes a long way. It helps me continue bringing these expensive devices to you guys and all that good stuff. So really appreciate you guys being here, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right. Later.